Okay, welcome back to another video. As I mentioned before in the last one, this is going to be the first of a mini cut series. I'm doing a photo shoot in a couple of weeks, so I'm looking to get lean for that. So I'll be taking you guys with me, sharing some tips along the way. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. Let's get started.
Lamp City. They tell me to slow down, but homie, I'm just living my life and gonna do what you think is right, cause that's
What's going on, people? So we're about to head up the gym in about an hour, so we're just having a pre-workout concoction. I'm quite into cereal at the moment, and as I've always said when you're cutting, I like to save my carbs for around my workouts or even later on in the evening if I'm not working out that day. But I'm having muesli, granola a lot, sorry, and I've been having Bounty bars as well. And so I quite like the idea of both of those mixed together. So what I've done is I've made up a bowl muesli with some tropical fruit onto the top, and we have got some chopped up Bounty in there as well. So, as weird as that sounds, we're about to give it a go and see how it tastes. Yep, just as I expected. That tastes amazing. It reminds me of when I was in Bali last year. I was getting a big froyo pots with big chunks of Bounty in. It's pretty much what it tastes like. Anyway, we're going to eat this. And today is a push workout, so we've got chest, shoulders, bit of triceps, maybe even chuck a bit of abs in there as well. I've already been to the gym once today to do 30 minutes of cardio this morning, just a bit of LISS, low intensity, steady state. And I'm feeling a bit fatigued because I have trained every day this week, which I'm not usually used to. However, we are increasing training volume for this week as we are looking to get shredded. And that's one tip I always give, is to increase your training volume. That way we burn more calories during our workout. And obviously we're doing more muscle damage, which means our body's got to work harder after our workout to recover, meaning that it's burning more calories, which is going to help us get into that deficit, which we need to increase fat loss. So, gym session coming up. Okay guys, so that's the workout complete. Just wrapped up a push workout, as I said before. Just went for volume really. Weight wasn't that high as I'm feeling a bit fatigued, so we just stuck to the main lifts, being bench press, some incline press, shoulder press with some lat raises, and then finish with some dips and tricep extensions. So really basic stuff, but mainly sticking to the compounds as I've said before. They're the best for muscle growth and burning those calories. So we're going to get back now. I need to get the car keys out of my car. No, I don't, because I left my car open. That's great. Going to get back now. I've got a busy day at work tomorrow, so that means I'm going to have to prep some food so I don't go off track with my nutrition. However, there are ways around that if you do not prep your food, which I'll also discuss in a future episode. But we're going to prep up some food, so I'm going to run you through the nutrition side of things and how I'm going to go about prepping for my meals tomorrow, and a few tips that you guys can take into your own routine. Let's get to it. Before we get going, I just want to ask you guys to head over and check my post out on Instagram. I've just put it up and I feel like a lot of people need to hear this, so if you're not following me, then head over now. I'll link it here or in the description below. Make sure you go read this post. Okay, so we're back. I'll show you what we got going on. Main bulk of the meal is going to be potatoes, some onions, some peppers, and the main protein source of the meals are going to be smoked haddock. Smoked haddock, it's lean, it's cheap, and most of all, it's tasty, so we're getting a win-win-win-win there. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop all this up, put it in the oven for about 30 minutes, roast it all up so it's nice and flavoursome. I'm going to season it a little bit to give it that extra little kick. I quite like to have this pretty often as it's low maintenance. Literally just, there's not much preparation that goes into it, just chop it all up, bang in the oven, and then it's done in about 30 minutes. So, like I said, low maintenance, and it's an easy meal which provides lots of nutrition and also keeps you quite full as well, lots of flavour. I also like to snack a lot throughout the day as well, so I'll show you what I'm going to be having, but first we're going to prep this up and then we'll take you through it. Tell you what guys, cooking this food is just so emotional. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make enough for 2 meals, so I'm going to bulk cook the majority of my food, which is a tip I'd give to you guys, especially those who don't have time to meal prep. If you're having dinner the night before, then make enough for the meal and the next day. That way it's not taking any time out of your schedule, and also you're going to save a bit of money on food as well, because most of us should know that buying food in bulk is a lot cheaper. If you look at the prices on smaller packaging, per 100 grams is usually a bit more expensive than what it is on the larger packaging of the same product. So that's another tip for you guys. If you are looking to save money as well, then always bulk buy food, and you can always freeze it if you're not going to eat it straight away, which is what I do with a lot of my food, such as my meats and even things like bread as well. So remember that. And don't forget your post-workout carbs, guys. I'm just kidding, but these are really good, especially if you like coconut. I'm quite keen on Bounties, but I know a lot of people aren't. But seriously, per bar, these you get like 2 little blocks, and it's like 139 calories, so you can't really go wrong with that. I get cravings quite a lot, so that does the trick for me. I will limit myself to only 1 a day though, as I know that going too crazy on them, like anything, is bad for you. So now the potatoes are parboiled, we can go ahead and chuck them in a roasting tin. We're just going to cover with some oil and then chuck them in. About a bit, and then we'll season those in a second. Next up, we'll just chuck in the veg. You may have to spread it out just a little bit. All we're going to do then is top up with some mixed herb, some garlic infused oil, which I got from the Cotswolds Gold, great company, and then obviously some black pepper. And that's all we're going to put on it. It should add lots of flavour there. So now that that's done, the oven has been preheated to 200 degrees, so we're just going to pop that in there. So now that that's in, we're going to wait about 10 minutes before we chuck the fish in, and in the meantime I'm just going to show you what sort of snacks I'm going to be having throughout the day. So the first one that I only really have when I haven't got much prepped is a protein brownie from Myprotein. These are mixed reviews, to be honest. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what Kieran has to say, but they are quite dry. However, they are quite high in protein, and if you are craving them, they're a pretty good little snack to have. Secondly, I'm just going to have 1 single pack of Oreo Thins. Again, these are another snack which are really low calorie and satisfy the cravings, so they're definitely worth looking at. You may be thinking, Drew, you're having a lot of unhealthy snacks, but really, like I've said before, it comes down to being in a total caloric deficit, which is going to equal fat loss. And as long as you're getting your protein sources and as long as you're getting 80 to 90% of your total intake through whole nutritious foods, then that's what's really going to make the difference. These little things are only the minor little bit on top, which aren't really going to make that much of an impact on my diet. So that's pretty much it in terms of typical snack sort of food. For breakfast before I leave for work, I'm going to have a bowl of granola with coconut milk and topped with dried tropical fruits. I'm quite enjoying that at the moment. I may also have some fat-free honey Greek yogurt throughout the day, and also I'll probably purchase some strawberries or grapes or something that's high volume, low calorie, to keep me going throughout the day. So on the subject of volume, guys, what I mean by that is the quantity of the food versus the amount of calories that it actually contains. So if we look at something like peanut butter, for example, that's quite a low volume food, but it contains a lot of calories through the fats that it contains. Whereas if we look at something like strawberries, for example, or like cauliflower rice, again, a lot of quantity there, whereas the calories are quite low. So when we're cutting or when we're trying to drop body fat, the best thing we can do is increase that food volume whilst trying to keep our calories down. That way we're going to keep fuller for longer, and we're going to be more satisfied when we finish our meals. That's a great tip that I'd give to you guys. If you take one thing away from this video, make sure you take that away. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying this video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel grow and reach more people, which is the main goal of this channel, to help as many people as possible on their fat loss or muscle building journey. If you do want more content, then all you have to do is backtrack on my previous videos, and there's loads of stuff there that I've previously given out. And if you want even more content, then all you have to do is head over to my website, www.surefit.com. That'll be linked below. I've got many blog posts, and also additionally there's online coaching and my programs which are available as well. So it's been about 10 minutes now. Now we're going to chuck the haddock in, wait a further 20 minutes until it's all done, and then that'll be that meal complete. So that's the finished product, guys. Nothing too special, but it's pretty tasty. Like I said, very filling and low maintenance. Quite a cheap meal as well. So win, 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 win. I'm going to wrap the video up there, guys, and I just want to say, if you do enjoy the content and there's anything that you need to know, then drop a comment in the section below and I'll include it in the next video, as I want to do as much as I can to help you guys progress through your journey. I do put a lot of stories up on Instagram to do with fat loss, and I'm also working on an ebook, as I mentioned in my previous video, which is going to be released in a couple of weeks' time, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, guys, don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and obviously subscribe if you aren't already. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it steady.